right now. Yeah, my
Oh
name is
man.
NoBrakes. My name is NoBrakes. Welcome. Today, this is behind the wall. We got a live interview call from prison. We got Mack Marsh, the Moon Man, in man. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it, man. What's the word, Mac?
Oh man, blessings on blessings on blessings, man. Yes, this is Mack Marsh, the Moon Man, center of the universe, man. So, let me first by apologizing, you know what I mean, for twisting the schedule up. But we gotta let life play out as it does. So, everything is an opportunity. So, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna just do something different today. Being as though I become like water and I flow to the streams that they let me flow in. So I got some other stories of some other guys where I'm at right now, and if y'all ain't caught up on the speed, me and Swag, we kind of got separated, but it's perfect timing and all that. So he gonna hold y'all down on certain dates, and I'm gonna keep y'all posted on the other dates.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I'm being housed in the infirmary at the JTVCC, the correctional facility, and small complications and all that, and I'm here for observation. But you know, it don't never stop. So all I do is keep my eyes open, my ears open, and so I observe certain things. And I had a couple good brothers, telling me their stories. But before
Mm.
we even get started with that, I always
Right.
throw it up free to jail. And but we
Right.
got to understand when we throw that out there what exactly it means. And I just want to just pull y'all up on certain things, man. If you got loved ones, you got family members, loved ones, friends, any kin, any resemblance of anyone that's locked in the belly of the beast behind bars, no matter what it seems like the crimes that they did or didn't do, or innocent or guilty, whatever, we all humans. You know what I'm saying? So if you have any of them in them situations, make sure you reaching out and show them love, man, because we get forgotten sometimes behind these walls. And a couple of brothers that I was talking to, some tragic events happened to them, and they have no one to reach out to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm be fortunate and glad enough today to be able to recite their story. You know what I'm saying? That it may vibrate out there and cause the tidal waves that we needed to cause. So big up
Facts.
to free to jail, man. Just don't let us be because we out of sight. Let us be out of mind. Always keep us in your heart. And the smallest things, from a letter to a accepting of a phone call to a money order to anyone, just reach out and touch, man. It makes tidal waves.
Facts. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. I appreciate that, man. So, yeah, before we get into it, so you said that, just to give them a little background cuz I know that you wasn't here for like the past week or so. So you in the infirmary, right? They moved you there?
Yes, that's correct. I've been down here, technically speaking, since Monday.
Okay.
Monday, and came back on Tuesday and been here ever since. So, God willing, I'll be, you know, discharged on Monday. We can get back to the regular schedule. But yes, I'm now housed in the infirmary.
Okay, bet. So yeah, we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get right into it. I appreciate you for popping out, of course. So yeah, man. I wanted to like, get into like the start, like the life behind, Mac Marsh and how everything started, and first we can just talk about your relationship, growing up, with the family, things of that sort. As a young kid, young child, how was your relationship with your family, your mother, your father, your siblings?
Okay. All right. So as they start, as they say, as far as back as I can remember. But yeah, so I am one sibling. I'm one child of a family of what now four brothers, three brothers and one sister. One being the youngest, so he came later in the game. He'd been 15 years old.
Hmm.
But yeah, the earliest I can remember is going back. So uh, yeah, as I okay, as it comes to me, in the beginning of the game, and before I open up these doors and these floodgates and let everything flow through, it's not for pity, it's not for anything, it's just to state the to give you a page of this chapter. You know what I mean? So just flow with me.
Mhm.
But in the beginning, okay, so ever since I've known, now we're just gonna start with my father. We're gonna start with my father, and so my father battled with the disease of addiction, you know, before I was born and all throughout my life. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so in that battle of addiction, uh, he never had a job. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do the jail stuff and be locked up, but I never known him to work a job. And so basically, without his support, my mom was the one that was, off to these different jobs, two at a time sometimes, to support the family. But it was beyond just supporting and putting food and clothes on our backs. He was also codependent, his addiction on her. So half of the money what came in that was supposed to go, to supply and the family,
Mhm.
it got shot up in his arms or smoked up in his pipe. And
Mhm.
so in the beginning, I think he really struggled with heroin addiction. And if anybody knows anything about the opiate crisis, it's just like it's so addictive and it's beyond mental because it becomes physical. So once you're on it, the withdrawals of you not having it every day and all that, it's like having a flu. You know what I'm saying? So you get sickness, you can't hold no food, the diarrhea, the throwing up, so shakes and all that. So once you sign that contract, you normally, a person that's, their daily life. Where other drugs can be considered, you can have recreational use and weekend warriors or functional addicts. The
Mhm.
heroin addiction is, extreme. So in the beginning parts, I remember, I think we were staying in Ellesmere and that's in the Wilmington town of Delaware. But we were staying there, and so my mom would be off to work, and so by him not having a job, he watched the kids, and you know, we might be in the room and open up a drawer and we see needles and we see spoons with,
Mhm.
burnings on the bottom of it and all these other things and the different drug paraphernalia. And you know what I'm saying? I get fortunate enough we was wise enough to know, that was not, to do not touch. And so in the beginning he really battled with the heroin addiction. And then I think after a while he got put on the clinic, and the clinic is something that's y'all don't know. It's basically they go there and they get a replaced drug. So which was methadone at this time, and so they give them a replaced drug to wean them off, basically off of the heroin. So gradually became on a clinic where he didn't have to rely on heroin every day. He would take this methadone every day. So every
Mhm.
morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, he had to get up and go to this clinic, get his methadone doses and all that. But where that addiction stopped, another addiction grew, and so after that, it was crack cocaine. And so this one was, the crack cocaine addiction was, as severe as itself because it was more or less in binges. Where one you get high to feel cool, and another to feel another level you're not. That can carry you a little bit. But with crack, these things is like bang. These are 10-minute highs at a time, and so you're spending 50, 60, $100, and boom, in a matter of half an hour, it's gone. So you back at it. So this crisis was even greater pressure on my mom as she, worked to supply us with food, but also, you know, supply his habit. And now, so just to cut a little into my mom, let me explain her to you. So my mom's side of the family, grew up Christian, you know, never used drugs. I think she might drink a wine cooler, 2 times a year at a social event with someone else. So that just wasn't her aspect of that, and him being a total opposite. But like you'll say, well, why wouldn't she just leave him, or why wouldn't she, not pay for his things? Like, you know what I mean? But so he used to use manipulation a lot, and so you got to think him being more. And I ain't gonna say I don't know how much more street, but definitely more street than my mother. You know, after her conceiving, having certain children by him, and them living under the same household, when she would tell him like, "Nah, I don't have it," "Nah, I don't got it," he would use us as like tools. And so when he's like
Mhm.
trying to get his high. And she was like, well, I just don't have it. You know what I mean? So he would wake us up, 10 o'clock in the night, 12 o'clock at night, wake us up, get us dressed, and threaten to take us outside. And so now he's trying to yank us outside, and then, so
Mm.
she's not having that. So she starts, okay, 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 okay. And if she has to go borrow it, it's go gets ball, and then he gets his fix. So this went on for, years, you know what I'm saying? And then, so, just to give you all a little example of it, okay, so one scene that I remember. So, mind you, we was neglected when we was under his care. We got the real, love and support after
Mm.
her when she got off work. But she's normally working 2 hours and sometimes get off at 11 and 12 o'clock at night. So mind you, that was when it was time to eat, things like that. So uh, while he's watching us, we're forced to be in the room and not come out. And if he goes out to do one of his drug runs, go out to take one of his drug runs, he would tell us to stay in the room, and he would prop the door up, the door to our rooms, even though it wasn't on the hinges, but he would prop it up a certain way that he could tell if we left. You know what I mean? If we came out the room, and mind you, we minors at this time, me being probably the age of like five or six, and my brother being 2 years older than that. So he would go out and like we, being hungry, we would like sneak out and try to put the door the same way, and
Mm.
go to the cupboard and grab some bread, and might find some syrup, and we was happy for that, and just different things while to hold us down. And I remember one particular time he used to always like send my older brother to the corner store, and he'd send him to the store to get his little daily snacks, which consist of tasty cake, crimpet tasty cake, and caramel candies, and some other few items that I can't remember off of the top. But I remember one time he sent my brother out, and as my brother went out, he came across and found a wallet on the ground.
Mm.
And so he came back and was excited and gave my dad the wallet. And so I like walked into him giving the wallet, and I'm looking. So my dad looks at the wallet, opens up, and it looks to be like at least like $80 in there. So my dad's happy, like, oh, okay, he got it's ready to
Right.
turn up real quick. And so him being happy, he gives my brother the bag of snacks. So it was a crimpet and something else in there. And my brother was older, you know what I'm saying? Mind you, not no shots fired. I don't know how much street smarts, because, I might have tucked the whole wallet. But he got the bag of snacks, and he was elite with that. Oh, okay, boom. And so we broke it down. He eating that, and my dad was shot out. Boom, he went to go get high. So I'm looking at my brother. I'm like, yo, and I'm thinking, and young as I am, I'm like, yo, like, you know how many crimpets you could have bought with all that, but you traded it off for that. And
Mm.
because we were so like, I don't know, starved out or whatever. He was just content with, that crimpet and that candy at that moment, and
So
that
let me.
always rung a bell in my situation.
You have 1 minute
So I
remaining.
want to ask. So I
Yeah,
want to ask, like, also, how
yeah.
did that affect your, your, you as a child, having that relationship, with your father? But I know the call is about to end, and I want to, you know, give my comments and stuff
Okay,
about that. But yeah, definitely, when we get back, when you call back, we'll talk about how that, like, affect you as a child, your relationship with your father.
okay. Say no more. Stay tuned, man. I'm pulling right back up on you.
Live, we live.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna dig right back into it because yeah, that's those situations, as I was saying, um, those can be traumatic to anybody, to the point where those are situation and memories that you still have to this day that you possibly can remember vividly, and things like that. We just like to see how that affects, or how that affected you growing up, as a child, becoming an adult, and things of that sort. But yeah, man, let's get into it.
Okay, okay. Okay. So, well, and like I said, that being just that, I just gave you just a brief small window. You know what I'm saying? And so that that you got to think, when you're getting groomed at an early age, you don't know what's normal and what's not normal. So that became the normacy of my childhood to, uh, I didn't know, what was happening in other homes and how, a father and child and how, a household was supposed to be conducted. So it just became more of being a survival, you know, uh, technique of mine to just adapt to it. And so it's being that early, I think it just started to mold me into, the kid that I was to become. And so, early, just off of that point right there, early for that point, me just not knowing. But all a lot of the all right, all I remember is hunger was the most adamant thing, and so that was a part of the drive because it was hunger, and it was like every day, like kids is not supposed to worry about when they gonna eat, what I'm saying, how much they gonna eat, and or they will be filled, you know what I mean? But that was a part of the life. So that was, my early childhood was just basically, scavenging for food when it came to it. And then we talking about my mom not being able to be on food stamps and my
Mm.
dad too lazy to even get any. And so, she took care of us the best that she could when she was there. So I remember she used to come off of work and we used to like wait up and it'd be like 11 o'clock. She was working at Arby's then. And when she would come, she would bring food like from her job, and we like me and my brother used to like dance and like you know we had this word. What I'm saying, to this day I remember this word. I don't. It came, but it was like a vicolite. Don't ask me what it means, but it projected joy and happiness. You know what I'm saying? And you'd be surprised.
You have one
Oh,
minute remaining.
I'm gonna have the joint on the double back, but
Yeah.
you'll be surprised that you'll be surprised that uh what you kids might take for granted. Because you're not, as a kid, you're not supposed to worry about, if you're going to eat. You know what I mean? So when I see them feed the children and all of them, I absolutely can relate to, you know, uh, that right there. Because you cannot focus on anything else for that. So that early part right there was more directly molding me to, it was just hunger. It was hunger for me and my brother and all that. And it made a bond for us early. So we didn't do too much nickering and fighting because we had to work as a team to feed ourselves.
Mm.
Thank you for using GTL.
All right, all right, all right. Blessings on blessings.
Blessings, blessings,
Boom.
blessings. So yeah,
Yeah,
man.
so
Let's go.
I was just going to say, all right, so it only gears up to, and I'm trying to keep it sectional. So I could only give and try to pinpoint at that time, at that stage of what that, if I was going through about that upbringing, how I was. Now, the molding continued as, we move forward. You know what I'm saying? So moving forward, I have, more details of me getting older and more, fill in the blanks of that, and then you can get a more rounded picture of. I can answer that question, more with more of a storyline.
Okay, okay. So you're talking about I guess the effects from that relationship you had with your father?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause like I said, that point right there is just only up to like, I think at that time I might have been age 6. So I
Mhm.
mean, a lot of, if you, abuse came further down the line as I got
Mm.
older, and a lot of, issues like, it didn't get better. Put it that way. It got worse, and then I had other siblings that was born, and we moved, but yeah, I didn't know
Mm.
how much you wanted me to go into right now. I'm following your
Yeah.
lead. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. Nah, yeah, go ahead because if it's a part of your story, obviously, everything is relevant and we want everyone to feel it, not just hear it, but also feel where you're coming from. So if this is, a better way to express that and have us, feel where you're coming from, yeah, for sure, for sure. But
Okay, okay. All right. So like I said, this was the first part, and this was I was at that younger age. So as that transition, we end up moving to the north side, and my mom ended up getting a better job. I think she was working at Bissell. This is before the post office or around there or something. So she gets a better job where she getting better money. But like I said, with my father, nothing changed for his addiction. He didn't get a job, and the only bright side of it is he wasn't on heroin. So it was just dealing with crack. And now, so as we started to get older, um, a lot of this upbringing did start to pour out through me because now by his addiction, you know, he takes away not only food out of our mouths, but he also takes clothes off our backs. And so I remember, going school shopping, and like even my mom felt this because like we made a mistake of going school shopping for clothes and
Mm.
stuff, and he came with us. And then so normally, like the rest of the school year was more of a struggle, but she, no matter what, we normally started the school year with, at least a couple new outfits and a new sneaker. And so we went and we were sneaker shopping. And I think we went into a store and I seen something, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it. I don't forgot what it was, whatever, whatever. And, me being
Mm-hmm.
still a child sneaker, whatever, whatever.
Right.
So I can't remember the price or all that, but I just know he was outraged by the price. And he's like, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? So mind you, this has been already the ritual the years prior to that. You know what I mean? So he like, no, 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 we out of here. And then so my mom, being, passive in the situation, she follows the lead. This man takes me to, and I don't know if they still exist today, but he takes me to a store called Payless. And I'm like, no, hold on. Now, so I don't know if
What's
everybody's familiar with
Payless?
Payless, but
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. What they got in
yeah,
there, bro?
the,
Mm.
the title is exactly what it is. So
Okay.
we go into the store, and
Ain't
he's
nothing
like,
wrong
hey,
with that.
ain't nothing wrong with these sneakers right here. And I'm looking, and these things probably cost like $16.99. They was, Bobos in a true fashion. So I'm like, I'm pouting. I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm like, I don't want no sneakers there. So he's, all right, well, oh, fine with me. And then so we leave, and he takes his ride. He go get high, and we boom. So my mom, she ended up, one of her favorite pastimes. And I ain't knocking it because nowadays that thing is, I would be frugal and even shop there. But she frequent Goodwill real heavy. And then so she found Goodwill and found me a pair of, I think it was called Econics. And so they was all blue, they was suede. And so she
Them
bought
new
them.
iconic nines.
Yeah, Econics. I don't know. They throwbacks. I don't even know if, what I mean, how many people, but, look them up.
They probably
They
hot
don't
in another state. You know how it be. You be like, yo, yeah, them iconics go hard.
yeah. Okay, all right, yeah, yeah. So she grabbed a pair of these. So she brought them home, and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, I'm looking at them. They tough. I'm like, yeah, I like these. So mind you, boom, go off to school. So I go to school, and I'm telling we out in recess, man. Why the whole tongue ripped back. So I'm
Oh
like, they
man.
blabbing like an open mouth. I'm embarrassed. So then, so mine get to teasing me. Oh, there go you go, fist fight. You know what I'm saying? So
uh,
I get suspended and all that. And so a suspension, one thing that he did, I can say he did, and whether it was good or bad, not, it molded me, which I wouldn't do to my own children. But discipline was he was heavy on it, so he was real strict, and so that meant basically an ass whooping, and it was two weapons, well, three weapons. It was a switch, it was a belt, or it was an extension cord, and out of all them three, I'd rather the belt all day long. But he loved the extension cord. And so, yeah, ass whipping, bam,
you
suspended
used
from
to get a
school.
lot of
So,
whoopings when you was a kid?
oh my, so often. I mean, if you look at my back legs right now, I still got whelps on them. And I think the
Dang.
more ass whoopings I got, the more I acted out. So it was like they
Mm.
wasn't fixing me. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't. You know what I mean? So I did try to get smarter. So when it came to suspension, okay, it wasn't no fighting in school. So I would just fall back and wait till we get off the school bus or to walk home, and then we gonna kick it. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I like, I remember a time where we got, so we was, how it is cool to sit in the back of the school bus. So we sitting in the, I'm sitting like second to a back, And so I'm like really, I'm a class clown in school, and I got chill modes to me or whatever, whatever. So anyway, some girl, I thought she was trying to be a bully or whatever. She must have not known she was messing with me, but she wants my seat. You know, the further you back, the cooler you seem. So I'm like, I'm not moving. So she get to doinking me. If y'all know what that is, putting her finger all in my forehead, calling me all types of dirty. And mind you, if I told y'all
Mm.
before, one of my nicknames growing up was uh, uh, BMB, and I was Dirty Marshall Brown. You know what I'm saying? So I had to like. That's why I fought so much. But this girl like harassed me the whole 20 minutes home riding to school, and I would just pass it because I knew if I fought her on the school bus, that's an ass whooping. So I'm telling you, they let us off the school bus, and now mind you, as an adult, I never had struck a woman. You know what I'm saying? Just not me. But as a kid, hey man, they was all getting lined up. And we was all fighting them all. So, long story short, yeah, I handled my handle with her, and they learned that. So I started getting a little respect because they knew I would fight. Even though I might not win, we gonna fight every time. So that translated, a act out of mine, and that all came off of because I wasn't supplied with the proper clothing and all that other stuff, which became my nickname and all that. So yeah, so that's what his thing was. His big thing was ass whoopings,
Mm.
smallest thing,
Right.
and to the point where even even my so when he got high, now I'm gonna tell you this, when he got high off of his crack addiction, he would smoke his pipe, and it would make him more paranoid. So mind you, his eyes got big, and he hold it like a broomstick. He would peer out the window, and so at this time, he was like the most, let me say, docile. Like we didn't have to worry about his wrath because he was in a different world, and so we took advantage of this time right here, getting away with a lot of stuff. But he was annoying because he would tell us, "Yo, come here, go check that room." And we know ain't nobody in that room, but you had to go here through the formalities with him. So we'll go look in the room, come back, nobody in the room. Are you sure? Go check the other room. And so this will go on for that 10-minute high or whatever, how long it took. But once he come back down, you knew he came down because now he's making eye contact.
Mm.
So we lived through this and we adapted around this, and this
So
is how
did did
my childhood was.
did he do it in front of you?
Um. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Because
Mm.
like a lot of like one of the houses that we lived in, we had a kerosene. It wasn't no heat through the house, so it was only kerosene heater in that one room. So wintertime, every we all in that one room right there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he ain't going nowhere else and doing it. He's flaming it up right there. And I can say the good thing about that is by me witnessing all them harsh drugs that he partaked in, I never had to. You know how they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Mm.
Well, it was the opposite effect. You can either, learn from it and say, I don't want that for me or my children, or you, I don't know why a person would, adopt it. So, yeah, that was that. But the funny thing is, outside looking in, the neighborhood loved him. Outside looking in, the neighborhood loved him. His street name is MC, aka
Mm.
Gusto, and he used to come out and he was so good around everybody else's kids. So the neighbors like, okay, take your kid, take my kids, and he's taking us to the swimming pool and all this. So he's a different person out there in the neighborhood with everybody else. You know what I mean? So I think
Mm.
one time, like he took like five of the school children, five of the neighborhood kids, and we all went to the swimming pool. And then so after the swimming pool, he like, hurry up, hurry up. He takes us to the mission. Now I don't know if y'all know what the mission is. You know what the mission is?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Explain. What is
Well,
the
the mission
mission?
is it's like a diner. It's a diner, where they feed, you get free food, and a lot of like homeless people, go there to eat, and it's volunteer service, and they eat. Well, this was his, top five restaurant. So, and it's crazy because the kids parents don't never sent their kids to no mission. But him, this was a whole day's travel. So as we leave the
Mm.
swimming pool, we had to hurry up and go to one mission. And when you got kids, you go to the front of the line. These lines will wrap all the way around the building. So we'll go to the front of the line and then be seated. we'd eat, but now he's rushing us like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry. And a lot of like we was used to it, but the kids like, they play with their food and all that. So that's when he used to get a little more stern, like, yo, come on, come on, all right, they're done. And we were wondering why he rushing, but we knew, but they didn't know because now we had to rush out of that one and go shoot across town to catch the other one. And so we'd shoot the Newcastle to catch the other mission, and then that one you can kind of take your time. So when we got back to the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, and the kids, the moms, the parents say, "Yeah, how was your day?" They describing it, and some of them was appalled to find out that the kids was eating at a mission. So,
Oh.
that was typical gusto.
So I mean, did they know of his conditions and stuff as well?
No, hit it well, hit it well. Now, mind you, certain street, like the street aspect of certain people, but outside looking in, you wouldn't tell because one thing he did his dirt behind our doors. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
yeah, they didn't know it all. They just thought he was cool and all this. But after a while, you would say you couldn't fool them long. But nah, they had no idea. They had no idea, and that's how he really pretty much carried a lot of it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, how was your relationship with your siblings, and how many siblings do you have?
Okay, so
Or how
yeah,
was your
so
relationship growing up with your siblings since, we're starting from the beginning and heading up. So yeah.
well, okay, yeah. So I'm 40, 41. I have an older brother that is 40. He's probably 43 right now. Then I had a younger sister that is she's probably 38 right now, and then I had a younger brother, and right now he's probably 35. And then so that was us, and mind you, I got a younger, fella got a groove back, so I got a 15-year-old little brother.
You have 1 minute remaining.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but our relationship was, I mean, it was a key relationship. I mean, me and Shannon always fought. Me and my brother, I used to steal his clothes when he went to school, so I had to, like, after he left, I had to go ahead and get dressed, and I wear his stuff, and then I had to beat him home to take it off, and you know what I mean. So we had that kind of back and forth relationship. I mean, I tap more into that on the next thing. You know what I'm saying?